How to manifest like Aladdin. Now, at everybody's point in manifesting, everybody wishes, oh, I wish it was as easy as one, two, three, or as easy as getting a genie. And being like, I wish this was true. Now, when I started manifesting, that was something that I wanted specifically. I was like, it seems like it's too much work. Now, what if I told you you had the same power that this genie does, but not in a bottle, in your head? And that you could access it as many times as you want, and you don't need just three wishes. You can have as many as you want. Now, some of you may say that sounds too good to be true, but I use the same power to make this amazing drawing. Now I'm playing, but look at how, I mean, come on. Let's take a second before we hop into this to appreciate how good my genie is. We got the goatee. I mean, look at the teeth. Got the earrings over here, his hair. This, come on. Hey, it's pretty good. But if you guys stick around, I'm going to show you exactly how to manifest like Aladdin, how you have this exact power in your head, and how to pull it out whenever you want. So, without further ado, let's go over to board number one. Why is manifestation instant? Now, again, a lot of people, especially beginners in manifestation, law of assumption, law of attraction, whatever you want to label it, will always be confused by the term manifestation is instant. And a lot of people will go and spew this around and not actually explain why manifestation instant. And it leaves people confused. They'll go look out into their 3D reality, what's in front of them. It's like, oh my God, I'm affirming, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's not fucking working. Well, I'm going to show you exactly why manifestation is instant. So, like I said, most people try to manifest by using a technique and think that is what manifests. Now, is this true or false? Think on that. Is that true? Is that what manifestation is? Your answer would be false. Now, why is that false? Okay. So, again, most people try to manifest by using a technique and think that it is what manifests. Now, that is not true. Technique is a tool. But what is it a tool of? What are we using when we use a technique? That would be our awareness. No matter what technique that you use, whether that's scripting, visualizing, affirming, robotic affirming, whatever you want to use, you're using your awareness. The technique that you use always uses your awareness. So the technique is a tool to train your awareness. There are people who don't know a single thing about the law of assumption, manifestation in general, and they're in their desired reality. It's because of their awareness. They're naturally giving themselves what they want, and they don't even know it. And that's why a lot of people have what they want, and they don't even know this. So when you make it conscious, you start to think you're doing something to get something, and that's the ego, and we're going to go over that. So, why can Aladdin manifest his three wishes instantaneously? Genuinely, why? Is it A, the genie, B, is magic, C, it's a movie, just tell me watch your mouth, and D, the 4D? Now, think on that for a second. Lock in your answers. Think it's A, B, C, or D? Okay. So, A, the genie. That would be wrong. He's magic. Also would be wrong. C, it's just a movie. Tell me the damn answer. I'm not getting there. But that would also be wrong. That leaves one answer left. The 4D. This would be correct. Now, what do you mean the fourth dimension? Why can Aladdin manifest what he wants? Because he's in the fourth dimension. Think about this, okay? Don't take what the movie is saying at face value. Go a little deeper. In physical reality, we do not see energetic beings like a genie. That's not a real thing, okay? We don't see that. So we can come to the conclusion that it's on a different dimension. The fourth dimension. Now, what is the fourth dimension, and why is it important to know about it when manifesting? So, the fourth dimension, as stated, is one above us. It transcends 3D. Now, time in the fourth dimension is not real. I hate to break it to you, it's just not. The past has no energy. The future has no energy. The only thing that brings something to be is your awareness, your now, the present moment. Time does not exist. It's all clumped into one. Every possibility, every outcome, everything. Now, this is backed up by science, like quantum physics, by religion, and by spirituality. It all comes full circle. Now, why can Aladdin manifest his three wishes instantly? Well, we know the 4D time doesn't exist. So he says, "This is mine. I wish this to be true," and it's his instantly. Now, how can we use this to our advantage? And how can we tap into this? So first, you need to start off by knowing we have a fourth dimensional being within us. It's called the subconscious mind. And subconscious can really be labeled to identity. What you identify to be is what manifests. So the subconscious, whatever it, thinks is true, because it cannot differentiate reality and imagination. Whatever it thinks is true will be true for you. So how can you use that to your advantage? Well, I'm going to show you. So, a lot of you guys think, or used to think, most people try to manifest by using a technique and think that is what manifestation. So your definition of manifestation would be, I do something to get something. That's not true. This is the true definition of manifesting. Give me 1 second. Manifestation is reminding yourself who you are. Now, to a lot of you guys, that might not make a lot of sense. How do you remind yourself of someone that you already are when you're not it and you're looking out into the 3D to see that? Now, again, most people think manifestation is the act of doing something, a technique, and they think that is what manifests. Well, we know we manifest through our subconscious minds, which is really our identity. Who do we identify to be? Which is a fourth dimensional being. We're using the 4D in our minds. Now, is the technique is what controls the 4D? No, the technique is a tool. We use our awareness of who we are, our identity, what the subconscious mind accepts as true, to use the 4D. And whatever the 4D, whatever is true in the subconscious mind, is true in the reality, no matter how ridiculous that is. So if you are aware of what's in front of you or something that's not, it is always going to be true for you. So, if we use our awareness of our desired reality, then manifestation would technically be instant, because we are aware of what we want is true in the fourth dimension. And in the fourth dimension, which is what controls our reality, manifestation is instant. Which is why manifestation is reminding yourself of who you are, because in the 4D, all outcomes exist now. You're not creating something, you're choosing. And no matter what you choose, you're right. Which is why, something could be good and you're sitting there overthinking, like, oh my God, I know he's gonna cheat on me. And then he cheats on you, you're like, wow, I knew it. No, you chose it. You didn't know anything. You chose something that was already existed. You didn't create him cheating or create her cheating on you. You chose it because it's already real in the 4D. And we know that awareness is the true manifestation. If you are aware of something that isn't true in the fourth dimension, it's true instantly. And if you stick true to that, guess what? It gets pushed out. Now we're going to go over what you actually have to do to see this in physical reality, because that's all you guys want. I mean, that's why everyone gets into manifesting, is to change the 3D. But you need to know that manifestation is really reminding yourself of who you are. And when you come from that energy of being like, yeah, I already am that person, well, nothing else will bother you because you're already him. I'm going to teach you exactly how to go over that. But this is why manifestation is instant. And we're going to move on to the next page, which is how to control your awareness and what you have to do to get into your 3D and to keep it. So a lot of people will manifest and it'll go away. We're not going to do that shit. So we're going to go over to board number 2. So Now it's how to turn instant manifestation, like we talked about earlier, into a 3D experience, because truly that's what everybody wants. We can all shout at the top of our lungs that manifestation is instant, which it is in the fourth dimension, but a lot of us just want to get what we want, and I understand that. So I'm going to give you the practical version of how to actually do that. But remember, keep your mindset on. You're just remembering who you are, or you're going to be violating how the world works. Now let me show you exactly how it goes from instantaneous manifestation to a 3D experience. So you start off with your energy. Now, what is energy, you may ask? Let me show you. Energy is a combination of thoughts and emotions. Your thoughts and your emotions create your energy. Who you're thinking yourself to be, what you're feeling throughout the day. Emotions are an indicator of what you are focusing on internally. Now, if something is going bad, you sitting there and freaking out, being like, oh my God, oh, my emotions. No, don't do that. No, we use emotions as indicators of what our state of consciousness is. We're not using them to say, oh, woe is me and the world is ending, because it's only true if you say it's true. So, when you experience negative emotions, when you're manifesting, it's the purging of the old story. That means that the old version of you, which if you know the fourth dimension, everything is real, when you're leaving a version of you, that version you're leaving is real and it has a blind intelligence. Its only intelligence is to stay alive. Now, when you experience negative thoughts or emotions when you're manifesting, it's a good thing because the old you feel trapped. I needed to get that out of the way because that's everybody's biggest question. But you always start with your energy, which is your thoughts and emotions. It's what you use when you do your techniques. Now you don't have to do techniques to cultivate that, but you can just, as you're going throughout the day, thinking thoughts that cultivate emotions or positive feelings, whether that be calmness. It doesn't have to be really intense, but if it shifts you, that's enough. You could feel some sort of way and you could just be like, oh, I am this now. And that could shift you. It could be a small shift, but that's enough. That's what I mean by emotion. So you start at energy, which is really your thoughts and emotions, which transcends to your frequency. Now, what is frequency? Frequency is your identity or your subconscious mind. A lot of people will say you need to think and feel emotions to impress the subconscious mind. Really, this is just identity. What you identify as is really life. You may sit there and you might trick your awareness into giving you what you want by sitting there and affirming all day, every day. Okay? People have done that all the time, and I did that when I was starting. But you may trick them, but you always go back to who you are, which is your identity. And you could trick it by using your thoughts and emotions to turn it into a frequency, which is what's in the subconscious mind. But if you stop doing these things, you go back to your baseline, which is your identity. And you slowly start to creep back into your original frequency, which then leads to your intuition. Now, what is intuition? I'll show you. It is your inner teachings. Intuition, internal tuition, teaching. It's your inner teachings of your identity or the subconscious mind, which is fourth dimension. So it's fourth dimensionally giving you instructions, inner teachings, which is, the thoughts that pop up in your head, what you're compelled to do, the mental nudges. And now this doesn't only relate to you, but it relates to the people that are around you and that need to move for you to get what you were identifying as. And obviously, once this is all done, you get to your reality. Now, Aiden, how do I do? Slow the fuck down. I'm gonna get there. So, now, how do we turn an instant manifestation into a 3D experience? It starts with your energy, which is your thoughts and emotions. Then it goes to your frequency, which is your identity and your subconscious mind. Okay? Once you get to your frequency, which we know is identity or what is in the subconscious mind, that goes to your intuition, which is your inner teachings, your inner guidance, your instruction manual from the subconscious, which, mind you, is fourth dimensional. It knows the fastest way to get you to where you already are in awareness. That is what it's relaying with, intuition. It's giving you an instruction manual. It's giving everyone around you an instruction manual because we're all connected via consciousness. There's only one mind, only one consciousness, and we're all under the same thing. So it gives you and everybody else that needs to move the instructions to move for you to get what you want. And obviously, all this combined gets you to reality. So, like Aladdin did in the movie, he had a wish, he went to the genie, he gave him his 3 wishes, and he got them. Now, there's more to the story than that, but for simplistic take here, that's what happened. And how did he do that? Well, he lived fourth dimensionally, which means everything was instant for him, because the fourth dimension is the field of the instant. It's instantaneous because time doesn't exist. Now, we know that manifestation is not the act of you doing something to get, it's who you're choosing to be out of an infinite pool of yous. Infinite realities. That's what the fourth dimension is. And we know that the tools, the techniques, don't manifest. It's your awareness. Your awareness is you choosing because awareness is life. Now, to get this into a 3D experience from instantaneous manifestation, which we know is just our awareness that something is done, it's your identity. That is what instantaneous manifestation is. And how to hold that and get that into a 3D experience is through your energy, your thoughts and emotions, which then translates to your frequency, which is your identity and your subconscious mind, which then leads to your intuition, which is your inner teachings, the rule book, the map to your desired reality, or technically whatever reality that you are identifying as. And then you get here to reality. Now, why do a lot of people not keep their manifestations? Because they are not using their energy in the correct way. Again, you can trick your mind to get you what you want, but we want we want to keep our desired reality. It's not just I want to go experience it for a week or two. So how do we actually keep our manifestations? Well, I'm going to go over that, you lucky dogs. Give me 1 second. We're going to go over to the third board. So, how to keep our manifestations? Now, that's everyone who's manifested something at some point has lost that, and we all wonder, why the fuck did I lose what I wanted, what I manifested? Well, it's because you don't know exactly why manifestation works, or you didn't. Let's kind of recap over what we already know. So again, manifestation is instant. We learned that today. We are the cause, the world is the effect, because again, our inner world creates our outer world. So that means we are the cause. The outer world is the effect. The outer world is even our desired reality. We are above that. Okay? You know that. So, we also know manifestation, the rule book on manifestation goes like this. It starts with your energy, which is your thoughts and your emotions. Frequency, which is your identity and the subconscious mind. Your intuitions, which is the inner teachings, the roadmap to your reality. Now, the reality can be whatever you identify as. What is in your subconscious mind? Whether that's a frequency of poverty or a frequency of abundance. It doesn't really matter. It does not matter to the universe. So if you're coming at it from the energy of poverty, you're going to get a frequency of poverty, which means you'll get the intuitions, the inner guiding, the inner teaching of poverty, which means you'll get a reality of poverty. No matter what you do in the middle, which is action. Okay? Doesn't matter. If your inner teachings, which is your actions, your mental nudges, the nudges and actions of others, is from a state of poverty, no matter what you do, even for a tiny momentary gain in reality, it will always lead to poverty, no matter what. Because that's how reality works. Now, if we know this, and we know it's our energy, which goes to our frequency, which goes to our intuition, which goes to reality, why do so many people lose what they've already manifested? Now think about that for a second. If you know why manifestation works, where it starts with our energy, goes to our frequency, which is really just our identity in the subconscious mind, and then it goes to our intuition, which is basically, the actions you are compelled to take, our mental nudges, and the actions and mental nudges of others, which leads to our reality, then why do people lose their desired reality? Well, is it A, life hates them? B, is it because of themselves? C, do I take it away from you? Which I will do. Or D, does God choose whether you get your desired reality or not? Now think about that for a second. Spoiler, it might be answer C, but we're going to come to find out. Lock your answers in. So, A, life hates them. Well, that could be true, but life would only hate you if you hate yourself, because you are the cause and reality is the effect. So, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but there's a loud ass helicopter flying right over my apartment complex. But B, is it themselves? Yes. Because again, we're the cause, the world is the effect. If that's true, then the only reason we don't have what we want is because of ourselves. Do I take it away from you? I could, but I won't. So no. And does God choose what you experience? God is the subconscious mind because God is a fourth dimensional being. The fourth dimensional being inside of us is the subconscious. So God is the subconscious mind. God always says in the Bible that He is within us, that God is with us at all times. Well, God is the subconscious mind. So what is the subconscious mind? It is who you identify as. It's your identity. So no, God does not choose, because that is saying that God is above you. We do not negotiate with people. You are God. So you choose who you are. That's identity. So no, God does not choose. I can take them away from you, but I'm not. And does life hate them? No, unless they hate themselves, in which the answer would be still themselves. So, if the reason you don't have your desired reality or you lose your desired reality is also because of yourself, what is the process that it takes for someone to lose their desired reality? Well, a lot of the times because people, again, use manifestation as doing something internally to get something externally. So then when the externally comes, you praise the external. But your identity is what's actually manifesting. And then you'll eventually go back to who you are all the time. Because if we know how reality works, we know it starts with our energy, which are thoughts and emotions. It goes to frequency, which is our identity in the subconscious mind, which goes to intuition, which is, the actions that you're compelled to do and the actions of others. Your inner guidance, your inner teaching from the subconscious mind, the fourth dimensional version of you who already has it, who is showing you the quickest and most efficient way to get there, which leads to your reality. So if our reality is all butterflies and rainbows, it is our desired reality now, and you're sitting here praising reality as king, that also gives you the opening to your old frequency for you to react to the bad. Because reacting to reality is you reacting to an effect. Okay? The world is the effect, which is also your desired reality. It's not special. So if you're sitting here reacting to an effect, you are missing the cause, which the cause is our energy, our frequency, our intuition. It was already real before it became you. Before you saw it on the 3D, it was real in the 4D. So if you're losing your desired reality, it's because you're losing track of what manifestation is. Which again, manifestation is instantaneous. We're using our awareness to choose a version of us that's already pre-selected out there. So when you focus on the 3D, what's in front of you, well, you're losing sight of what actually matters, which is our awareness of the 4D, which is our energy, which is our frequency, which is our intuition, which leads to our reality. If you're focusing on reality, you are not focusing on the start of the chain. And if you're not focusing on the start of the chain, well, it's going to go completely unnoticed. You're going to be unaware of what energy you're giving off, which means you're going to be unaware of the frequency given off, which is unaware of your intuition, which leads to you're unaware of what actions you're taking, which leads to a surprise reality. If you're not aware of your energy, if you're not aware of what you're thinking and what your emotions are, well, then you're not going to be aware of your frequency, which is your identity. If you're not aware of your identity, you're not going to be aware of your intuition, which will lead you to an unaware reality, which is why people lose their desired reality. Because of themselves. Because they take their eye off of their energy and put their eye on their reality, which is exactly how you got to your undesired reality in the first place. That should be a light bulb moment. A lot of people will focus internally when it's bad, but when it's good, they'll focus externally. And I did that for years. But we know that energy is what creates reality. We know the chain of commands here. So if you focus on reality when it's bad, it stays bad. When you focus on reality when it's good, you're still unaware of your energy because you're unaware of your identity. And then you're unaware of your intuition, which means you're going to be unaware of what is coming to you because you don't even know who you are anymore. That's a light bulb moment, and you should write that down, okay? So, that is why people lose their desired reality. It's the same reason why they are not in it in the first place. Because they go back to exactly how they were thinking, what their awareness of life was before they got their desired reality, before they even started focusing on their energy. So, what is the opposite of this? How do I stay in my desired reality? It's staying in the same energy, the same frequency, and the same intuition we got to get there. Which means continuing to focus on our energy, which means to continue to focus on our frequency, which means to continue to get the intuition, the inner teaching of our identity, of our subconscious mind, the instruction manual to stay here. If you want to stay in your desired reality, if you don't want to lose it, you use the same system that you got to get there because the system never changes whether you're maintaining or you're trying to go up in your perception. Try to get to your desired reality. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Focus on your energy, which then leads to your frequency, which is which leads to your intuition, which then leads to your reality. And it doesn't matter if you're already in your desired reality or you're not. The process maintains the same, which means no matter what, you should always focus on your inner world because your inner world is the cause of the effect, which is a 3D world. So no matter if it's good or bad, you need to stay within. Because life starts from within. If we're unaware of within, we're going to soon be unaware of what's coming to us and ask why it happened. And the only reason you ever ask why it happens for anything in life is because you're not aware of within. When you stop leaving life to chance, and you always focus on your inner world, no matter if it's good or bad, then life will only show you what your inner world is. And that's everybody's dream. And a lot of people who've been in this, including myself, who's been in it for 5+ years, I still get this wrong because life is meant to suck you up. It's meant to, pause, it's meant to suck your awareness and you to get indulged in it because that's life. It's meant to be that way. But the way to maintain awareness is to constantly be aware, which means you need to slow yourself down. You can still go fast, but you need to slow your internal down. And when you maintain awareness, which means you always know what energy you're giving off, you always know the frequency you're giving off, and you always know that your frequency is tied to your intuition, which is tied to reality, you'll know you'll always be in a desired reality. And no matter if something goes wrong, you stay internal. And internal is life. And that is how you manifest just like Aladdin. Go get your desired realities. I'll see you guys later.